Hi, welcome back. I'm Paul Chartier. Salvation Army does such great things over the holidays. Finally, we have on Major Tom Heinzman. Thank you
you're welcome.
For agreeing to be on.
Sure.
And Doug Alexander, who's on the board of Salvation Army for many, many years. We're going to talk about a lot of things with Salvation Army. This program will air in December, but you've got a breakfast coming up that we might be able to sneak this in for the breakfast. Who's your roastee this year for your annual breakfast?
Yeah, so this year we have Mr. Will James, and he's from Toyota Manufacturing.
Yes,
I think a lot of people know that name, and we're just so excited to have him to be roasted for this breakfast. Yeah, yep. And so this should be a lot of fun this year as we have the opportunity to listen to him speak, and I've already heard some stories about some connections that he has with families that have been helped even through his own family, and how he's connected that with how we help people through our shelter. So yeah, we're excited about that.
Well, he's a wonderful man. I'm not sure how you'll roast him, but it'll be fun to watch people try.
Yes.
I've been actually pushing we should call it a troast, because it's really more of a toast to the honoree.
It really is.
Yeah,
yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah. You're fairly new to Lexington. You've been here a couple years. You came here from where?
My wife and I have served as Salvation Army officers in Northeast Ohio. We were up there for 27 years as officers, and then finally the Army thought it was time for us to see different country, and they decided that Lexington would be a perfect place for us.
Well, pardon me, but how do you like Wildcat country?
It's pretty incredible.
Do you like it down here?
I do. Yeah, we still watch Ohio State football, though.
That's okay. You're allowed to do that.
Okay, good.
Your TV channel would get that for 3 hours on a Saturday.
Absolutely.
Doug, you've been involved with so many great organizations, and you've got a great heart. What has made you commit your time and resources to Salvation Army?
Paul, I think that there are lots of great organizations out there.
Yes.
I got involved with the Salvation Army years ago. I don't think that it's possible for an organization to do more good with less than the Army. I've always said that no one stretches a dollar better than the Salvation Army. Most of our money goes into services. We keep our operating costs down, and we're managed to touch a lot of people throughout the year. You know, we're here talking about our Christmas activities for the most part, but the Army's there 24/7, 12 months out of the year.
And should I call you Major or Tom?
Call me Tom. Okay. That's fine.
Tom, you've been with the organization here locally for 2 years. Give us some numbers, the number of people that you help, that you host annually.
Yeah, so we help over 45,000 people locally every year. Well, that was the number for last year. That number seems to keep increasing. We did over 165,000 meals last year. We have a shelter of 204 beds, and that shelter pretty much runs full almost every night. We've even had to use, we have an overflow area, and we've had as many as 41 women in the overflow area, which just goes to show how those numbers just keep increasing. And so it's not just our shelter that's seeing an increase, but many of the shelters in town. Jenny Ramsey was just on a few minutes ago, and her shelter is experiencing the same thing. Most people think that those shelters are going to get a lot more people during the winter season, and we do, but the numbers even in the summer are really extremely high.
I heard before we went on, you and Jenny talking about a local company. Let's do a commercial. Did you just get a stack of new products?
We did. We just received 200 new mattresses from Tempur Sealy, and
gosh, that's
yeah,
amazing.
And it is amazing.
Yes.
And Coach Calipari was part of that, and it was through his foundation that they covered the expense of that. And the look on the faces of the folks that are in our shelter to have a mattress like that to sleep on at night is just priceless.
That makes all the effort worthwhile when you can see the faces of the people that you help.
Yeah.
Okay, it is a busy time. We've talked about the breakfast. Chronologically, what else is coming up in December that we can help promote?
Sure. So our kettles are going to be out until the 23rd of December.
Can we have an unveiling?
Sure, you can do that.
There it is.
Yeah. This is a very busy time for us when it comes to the Christmas kettles, and I think a lot of people think that just the money that's raised in the kettle is what it takes us to just to do Christmas, but it's not. That money really helps us throughout the year. When you think about all the programs and activities and the people that we serve annually, it takes a lot of money to do that. But this is our biggest thrust of the year, is at Christmas time. The Salvation Army has been known to help families this time of year, and I think that's when people think of us most, because they see us the most during this time of year. But the reality is, we're doing these same kinds of things every day of the year.
Tom, how much money did you raise last year through the kettle campaign? Last
year, just through the kettles alone, we raised $350,000. Yeah, just a little more than $350,000.
And that is physically through this, or that's the online donation?
No, that's just through the red kettles at the stores. Yeah, last year we did about $138,000, I think, in the online kettle, and some of that was through matching dollars. Then we have these countertop kettles, and we put these out at some of the banks in town. A lot of the stores will put the countertop kettles, and we do about $13,000–14,000 in just those wee little kettles that sit by a register somewhere.
It's such an endearing symbol of what you do.
It's one of the, I think, iconic symbols certainly of Christmas season.
Totally agree with you.
But let me say, the online kettle every year becomes more and more important. People don't carry as much cash as they used to. The red kettles will always be out there, but I encourage people to look into that. You can create your own online kettle and get your church, your friends, your family involved, and we certainly are always looking for volunteers, which I'm anticipating your next question perhaps.
I'm chomping at the bit for you to give the website so people can go online to either donate, and then we'll talk about volunteers too.
Sure, the website is salvationarmylex.org. So it's that simple, just salvationarmylex.org.
We'll put that on the screen.
And there's an opportunity for them to make a contribution right on that website. And then it gives also all the different ways that they can participate throughout the holiday season and maybe even throughout the year, so that they can be part of who we are throughout the year.
And Doug, you're segueing so smoothly into what's going on. For volunteers, how many people do you need to man the kettles and do the other things for volunteering at Salvation Army? Yeah,
countless volunteers. I know that we have over 800 registered volunteers. Now we have hundreds of volunteers for different aspects of what we do. For instance, we have our Thanksgiving dinner coming up, and then we have the Christmas Day dinner coming up, and we'll have over 300 volunteers for each of those holidays that will help us serve those meals on those days. For the kettles, the same thing is true. In order for us to have a kettle at a location for an entire day, we need volunteers to help support us. And the volunteers from the churches and from organizations, they do such a wonderful job. And they're not to ask anybody for money. They're just supposed to stand there and smile, and people know what we're there for, and they support us.
When the kettles are out, they will fill up. This is such a generous community. People want to help other people. So the key for us is keeping the kettles out and keeping someone there. We do not put kettles out without someone there. So the more volunteers we have, the more hours we have the kettles out, and that makes the whole thing work.
It could be online donations, it could be people walking into a store that have cash, getting change when they come out, and you'll take checks as well.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. And people will say to me sometimes, well, I want to make a contribution through credit card. We'll even do that over the phone. So if somebody calls the Salvation Army and gives their credit card number over the phone, if they want to come in and fill out the paperwork, we can do that as well.
You need a lot of people to man these. I'm guessing you would love to have soccer teams, neighborhoods, churches, reading clubs. I mean, people that can come out as a group.
It's the easiest thing in the world to organize, Paul. I've done it at my church for years. You get a sign-up sheet, you take a day, let the Army know, we give you a location, someone brings the kettle out, and you just get people to sign up. However, we do it in 1 hour increments at my church. I've already filled 3 days almost completely for our ringing in December. So there's nothing to it. It's just a matter of doing it.
Right.
You've got another program where people can buy gift cards at Kroger?
At Kroger.
How does that
Kroger
work?
is a great sponsor of
Yes.
us with LEX 18 doing the program for the Kroger gift cards. And so what people can do is, as they're shopping for their groceries this holiday season, they can pick an angel off the tree, and then it's scanned at the register, and $25 is charged to their account. And then $25 gift card is given to the Salvation Army to give to a family who's in need for the Christmas season.
Do you still have something at the mall with the angel tree as well?
We do.
How does that work?
Yeah, so Fayette Mall has been very gracious to us over the last several years. And we have an angel tree location at the mall, and we'll take out all the tags of all the kids that have signed up, and they'll lay on those tables, and we have people that come up, and some people will want to take a stack of them, like 3 or 4 tags, and others may just come and choose one. I'll tell you one story. Last year we had a woman come up, and she was looking for a specific tag, and we realized that she was really on a search for a specific child, and come to find out that she was looking for a 12-year-old boy because her son died
Oh my gosh.
at 12 years old.
Huh.
And she wanted to be able to provide for another 12-year-old child because of her son in memory. And she had said that that's the first time in 3 years that she's been able to do that. What was really neat for us was that we realized that these programs aren't only good for the people that are receiving the gifts, but these programs are great for us to be able to give the gift, and it's a healing process.
You men know this, that the volunteers get energized
Yeah.
for whatever the reason is internally. It could be to get them in the Christmas season or Christmas spirit. It is a miracle what happens. How many children did you impact last year with the Angel Tree? Do you know?
Yeah, so last year we were just a little under 5,000 children that were helped with the Angel Tree program. The number has increased this year. We've seen a huge difference in the number of families that have signed up, and we're not sure what the fluctuation is this year, but there has been a greater number every day that we did sign-ups this year. And so we just had our last sign-up last night, and so we're ready to go.
Which
and we're
means
hoping,
we need more people
That's
adopting
right.
those children, more people coming out to the mall, getting those cards, and shopping for these kids.
So
Yes.
the way people can donate, they can go to Kroger, buy a gift card,
Yep.
take an Angel Tree card. They can go to the mall and take a card for a child as well. And they can donate through the kettles. So you need volunteers and generous people to donate. What else do you have over the holidays that people can help?
So we can always use help when it comes to our everyday programs. We have a boys and girls club program. We have an early learning center program where we have folks that come in and read to the children. And then, of course, with the dinners that we're doing for the holiday season, again, it takes 300 volunteers or greater to do those dinners. So that's opportunity for them to participate. I wanted to go back for a second about the Angel Tree tag.
Yeah.
It's so important that if families take a tag, that they bring the gift and the tag back. Last year, we had about 20% of the tags that had been taken that didn't return. And so all of a sudden,
geez.
3
Yeah,
days
yeah.
before the families came to pick up the gifts,
my Lord.
we had to figure out a way
Oh boy.
to really scramble to get that. So
Every child is taken care of.
absolutely.
That simply means we go out and
You
shop
find a way to
for
do
them.
it, but
Right,
still.
right.
In closing, thank you for having such a great heart and spirit. Welcome to Lexington. I'm glad
Thank
to
you.
finally meet you. And if you would, in closing, please give your website one more time that people can go on and volunteer, make a donation.
Absolutely. That website is salvationarmylex.org.
I will see you at the breakfast in a couple days. And Tom, thank you very much. Doug,
you,
thanks for
Paul.
setting this
Thank
up.
you, Paul.
Thanks.
Merry Christmas.
You too.
Thanks for watching. Go to the Salvation Army website. I promise you it'll make you feel great to make a donation or to volunteer. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and see you next year.